So welcome back to my channel. My name is Sarah and this is Alphabet Escapades episode 2. So if you don't know, Alphabet Escapades is my version of a TBR tackle game. I have a tab on my OneNote that is dedicated to this. It has all of my books sorted alphabetically by author's last name, and I spin a wheel, I choose a letter, and then I try and focus on that letter for the duration of the video. So my last video, I got the letter B. So if I get the letter B this time, I'm not going to do that one. I'm going to spin again to change it up a little bit. And so we'll see how it goes. I'm giving myself 2 weeks this time instead of 1. So hopefully I will be able to finish more than just 3 books, but I don't know, I'm nervous. So I am starting this video out with 214 books on my TBR, but my birthday is this weekend, so I will be bringing in new books as well as reading some. So I don't know, we'll see how it goes. I'm hoping for the best. That being said, I have shuffled my wheel, and so let's spin and see what letter we get. Okay, we got O. That means that for this video, I will be finishing out the Blood King, the Cursed King, and the Warrior King by Abigail Owen. Those are the only 3 books that I have with an author last name O is Abigail Owen. So I will be reading those 3 books for this video. I am so incredibly excited. So the first one was... So the first book in this series was The Rogue King, and this is the Inferno Rising series by her. And this is a dragon shifter romance series, and I read the first book. I gave it 5 stars and I absolutely loved it. Now I have the rest of the series. I'm so excited to continue on with them. These are all interconnected standalones as far as I know. And the next one is following, I believe, our main character from the first book. It's her sister. So I'm so excited. Oh my god, this is going to be the great way to spend the rest of my week, and then my birthday weekend is reading the rest of this series. So I probably am going to end up spinning the wheel again, but for right now, I'm just going to start with this series and focus on this, and then we'll just go from there later on. But I am so excited. The next one that I have in this series is The Blood King. That is book 2, and oh my god, I'm so excited. Okay, so I'm gonna start reading, and I will come back and give you an update when I have my initial thoughts. I've started the book and actually have something to say about it, other than the fact that it's a dragon shifter romance that is the sister. So excited. All right, I'll talk to you guys later. Hey, good morning guys, and happy Monday. So I am back. It's been a couple of days. I meant to do more vlogging this weekend with the birthday activities, but lo and behold, I was just enjoying the time with my family, and so I didn't get any footage whatsoever. So Saturday we went down to town and we went to the bookstore. And I got a whole bunch of books, and so that was really fun. And then we went to lunch at Outback, and then we went bowling, and that was really fun. And so all 5 of us were bowling, and we haven't gone bowling in over a year, so it was a lot of fun to go again. And then we went and filled up our water tank, and my kids got to check out some of the trucks that my husband drives for work, and so they love that. And then we came home and we set up the air mattresses in the living room, and we all camped out and on the floor and had a movie night. So it was a really great day. Oh, and we also we took the 4-wheelers out for just a little ride here at the house and just up the road from our house. So living where we do, it's really nice because we could take the 4-wheelers out for just a really quick ride from home with all of the kids, and so it was a lot of fun. It was a really nice day. And then Sunday we were lethargic and exhausted because sleeping on air mattresses in the living room with the kids was not ideal for either one of our backs. So Next time we do that, we will not be sleeping on the air mattresses. We will be watching the movie and coming to bed because that killed our backs. We were so sore yesterday, but it was a good time. And so yesterday we were just very lethargic and just kind of hung out and watched movies and just relaxed here at home. And so I didn't read a whole lot and I didn't vlog at all. I read probably about 60 pages through the entire weekend, but that's okay. It was a great weekend. So I am back. I am reading The Blood King by Abigail Owen. This is the second book in her Inferno Rising series. And this one is following Skylar and Layden's story. Layden is the Blood King of the Blue Clan. And Skylar is a little spitfire. She's kind of one of those like reckless kind of people, you know, that she just kind of, she acts first and asks questions later. And her and Layden have had to do kind of almost an arranged marriage where he is trying to keep her safe as well as having things work out for his clan and his colony and trying keeping all of his people safe. And so they mate, and turns out it actually works out good because they're both very, very attracted to each other. And that was kind of just a needs must kind of thing, and now their relationship is kind of growing from there, and both of them are feeling more than what they intended to or what they planned on. But it's really fun, and I really love with this book, you have the really strong female characters that are very independent and they're like, well, I could take care of myself, I don't need you. But then you also have like the very strong male characters as well that are kind of the touch her and die kind of attitudes, and also the I want to keep you safe at all costs kind of character. And I really like that. I like that it's kind of that dynamic where it's almost kind of warring against each other to the extent of like them being independent and being strong-willed, and in this case very, very stubborn, but at the same time they find a way to work together and actually be partners, like very strong partners in these books. And I'm really enjoying that. I like that a lot, because a lot of times in the romance books you have like the really overbearing male characters, and then you have just kind of the meek like lose your shit for a man kind of female characters. And this one, it's like, it's not that, because it is, you know, they're very strong and very independent, but it's also that outlook of helping each other, relying on each other, needing each other, having different strengths, but coming together to make that work. And I love that dynamic in the relationships. That's really my thing. And I just really like seeing that. I like seeing that a lot. So there's things that he can do that she can't, and there's things that she can do that he can't, and then they come together, they work together, and they work. So at this point, I am about just a little over halfway. I'm on chapter 14, 173 pages into this, and I'm really, really enjoying it. Yes, it moves quickly. They don't waste any time with this relationship, but that's kind of the situation that we're in at this point as well. That's just how this situation plays out. So I am really, really liking this. I like all of the characters that we're seeing come back from the previous book. And this one, actually, I thought this was going to be more of like an interconnected standalone, but it's not. That is a continuation of the first book and of the series. It's just from a different perspective because it's a different relationship that we're following. So they are all connected, and you do need to, or you do want to read them in order, because it would definitely make more sense. And so I'm really liking this. And now the question is, because I have all these new books from my birthday, and I am going to be, at least the plan is right now, to film my August TBR today. And I'm very excited for that because I have all these brand new books that I'm super excited about that I want to read. And I want to like drop everything and read them right now. But I'm supposed to be reading this as well as the other books. Sorry, we have our tickle toes right here. But the other books are right here. And I am supposed to read the other two books in this video. But what I'm wondering is, because I'm so excited for all of my new books, do I continue and read the entire series, or do I just shake things up and spin the wheel again, get a different letter, and maybe do like one letter per book? I'm not sure. But at least for now, I will be finishing this. And I'll kind of have that in the back of my mind while I'm finishing this book up. Hopefully I'll finish it today because these books read really quickly. But I'll kind of have that in the back of my mind of what I want to do, whether by the time I get to the end of this, I'm really itching to pick up the next one and continue on in this series, which is totally fine. That's fantastic. Or if I want to change gears and do a different letter or a different book, because being O for my first letter, as excited as I am about that and as excited as I am to read these books, that doesn't give me any variation. It means that I'm reading these books and these books only for the duration of the series. And at this point, because like I said, I have all these new books I'm really excited for, now I'm wondering if that was the best choice. So I am going to continue this, and then I will decide at the end of this if I want to continue on in this series right now or if I want to change gears. But like I said, so far I am really, really enjoying this. It took me a minute to kind of get back into the swing of things because I haven't read the first one for a bit. But now that I'm back in it, I'm really, really enjoying it. And so, yeah, I'm really excited to see where this one goes. And so, yeah, that's kind of my update as of right now. I do need to get things together so that way I can go and film my TBR. And maybe that'll change my mind. Maybe I'll get a whole bunch of my new books onto my TBR and not need to change this up. I don't know. Either way, that's all I've got to tell you guys right now. I don't want to say too much more about this one just because of the fact that it is the continuation of a series. So I'm going to continue reading this. I need to do a whole bunch of cleaning today because I've really been slacking off on that with just reading and vlogging and just hanging out and enjoying the end of the summer. So I need to try and get some cleaning done today. And unfortunately, I'm just not huge on listening to audiobooks while I'm cleaning because there's just too many things going on around me. But I'm going to try and get some stuff done today and have a productive day. So it is already 9:30, which means I need to get my butt in gear and get going. But I want to come on and give you guys a quick update for kind of where I'm at, how the weekend went. And so yeah, I actually ended up getting the 2 copies of The Enchanted Greenhouse. My sister ordered it for me on Amazon along with The Witch's Guide to Magical Innkeeping, and she ordered those for me off of my wish list. And then my husband had The Enchanted Greenhouse stashed away for me for my birthday as well. So I have 2 copies of that book now, and now I need to decide if I'm going to keep them both, which I really don't need 2 copies of the exact same book, or if I want to return one of them and maybe get something different. But at least for right now, I'm just going to kind of hang on to stuff and decide what I want to do. But I do have plans to do a book haul, a big summer book haul here pretty soon. So you'll be able to see everything that I hauled. And since my last book haul, which I believe was in April, I think. So I'm going to have a big summer book haul video coming here in the next few weeks, I believe. So anyways, I'm going to continue reading. I'm going to start getting things done, and then I will check back in with you guys later on. Hey, what's up guys? So ignore all of the background things going. It is hot in here. It's 90 degrees outside, so I have my coolers going and my daughter is watching Mickey Mouse right now. But I wanted to give you an update before my husband gets here. I finished The Blood King last night and I really enjoyed this. I gave this 4.5 stars. It wasn't quite a 5-star. I felt like it went just a little bit too quickly and their relationship was a little bit too convenient in how well they got along and how well matched they were. But I still really enjoyed it. And so I gave this 4.5 stars and I'm so glad that I read it. And I actually immediately started this morning, I started reading The Warrior King, which is the next book in the series, because I didn't want to forget who any of the characters were or what was happening in the book so far. So I am 30 or so pages into this. I haven't read hardly at all except for that first 30 pages this morning. So I haven't read any more other than the first 30 pages of this, but I'm excited to see where it goes. And like I said, I didn't want to forget what was happening or anything like that. So I did end up starting this one. I'm going to continue reading this tonight, see how far I get, and then I'm going to really just get to it and start reading tomorrow. So that's all I've got for you for today. There's not a whole lot to say. Hi guys. So I have not updated you at all today other than just to get some b-roll of the sunrise this morning. It was very colorful. It's just all the smoke in the air has made it that way. So I thought it was really just neat looking. And so yeah, either way. It is now 2:30 in the afternoon. It is July 30th today, and I have been reading The Warrior King all day. So I didn't make it super far in this yesterday. I only made it like just over 50 pages into this, but now I am on page 243, so I am like 3/4 of the way through this. And you know how I said the last one, the Blood King, was a little bit too fast for me? This one is amazing. So this one is following a little bit more the storyline of the clans and the kings and the fight over who's going to be High King and how things are going to be run, and trying to eliminate Pythias, who is the fake High King. And he is an evil man that he wants to kill all the phoenixes. So this one is following that entire storyline so much more, and I'm loving it. So this one is still definitely a romance. This is very much part of the romance. We're following the sister Mira, who is able to see different places through mirrors, like looking glasses, and she can even step through those mirrors to teleport herself and transport herself, which is really, really interesting magic style as being able to do. So that part's really cool. So this one is following her side of the story, and she has met up with this black dragon, this dragon of the Black Clan, and his name is Gorgon. He is the king of the Black Clan, but Gorgon is old. He's one of the oldest kings to still be living. He's one of the original kings when Pythias took the High King title, and has basically been just like trying to make things work over the years. So Mira says that she chooses to mate with Gorgon, and so that way they can continue their alliance with the Black Clan and all this. But she has an instant connection with one of his most trusted men. So obviously that puts a hindrance in things. And then you add in the fact that after they have done their like mating ceremony, which is like a wedding, they go to consummate their mating, and Gorgon goes up in flames, and she realizes that it's not actually him. It is an imposter. So that's where this book kicks off. It is so good. And like I said, this one has a romance in it, but it's following that overarching plot, fantasy plot line, more in this book than in any of the others, and I'm loving it for that. This has so much more of the politics in it, and trying to figure out what's going to happen once they get Pythias off of the top, you know. And it's so good. I'm really, really enjoying this. So I have less than 100 pages left in this book now. I'm hoping to try and finish this afternoon and tonight. Like I said, it's like 2:30 right now. So I'm hoping to finish this one today, and I'm probably going to try and jump right into the next one right off the bat. Kind of like I did this one. I finished the last book, the second book, a couple nights ago really late, and then I was able to start this one first thing yesterday morning. And so yeah, I'm loving this one. So far I think this one might possibly be my favorite in the series. The romance doesn't move quite as quickly, and I feel like there's a lot of development beforehand that kind of starts out. And like I said, the overall fantasy plotline in this one, I am loving so much in this book. So I'm excited to keep reading, finish this out, and then I'm really excited to see where this is going to go and how everything is going to play out with all these different kings and all the different clans and all the different phoenixes. I'm having a great time. So I'm really glad that I'm reading this, and I'm really excited to continue it. But I will check back in with you when I have some final thoughts and final ratings for this book, and then hopefully when I've started the next one as well. So stay tuned. Hello. So it is the next day. It is about 2:30 in the afternoon, and I ended up finishing The Warrior King last night, or yesterday evening, right when my husband was getting home. I was finishing up this book. I think this one honestly might be my favorite in the series because I felt like this one had a little bit more of a relationship building in it, and this one had a little bit more of like the overarching political fantasy plot, and I loved that with this book. I gave this one 4.5 stars as well. It wasn't quite a 5-star read for me. It didn't give me that 5-star feeling, but I really enjoyed this one, and I liked this one even more than the second one. And it's debatable whether I enjoyed this more than the first. I gave the first one 5 stars, but this was a completely new concept for me, so I don't know if I would still give it that. But I really enjoyed this one, and I'm having a really good time with it. So last night yesterday evening, after I finished that one, I ended up starting The Cursed King. I have one book left in the series, and that's this one, and so I figured I'd just go ahead and start it, and went like just kind of go with it. So I have been reading this one today. I am up to 148 pages into this one, which is chapter 13. So I'm about a third of the way through it, and I don't like this one as much. I honestly feel like this one might be my least favorite because the relationship feels so forced, and it's so blatantly sexual, just like right off the bat. Within like the first couple of chapters, it's talking about picturing anatomy, and I don't know, it's just a lot. And I feel like the relationship is extremely forced. I like the characters individually a lot. I think that they're both really interesting characters, and they have really interesting character arcs, but I don't know about how I like them together, and I don't know if I like the relationship itself, just because, like I said, I don't feel like there is anything based off of that except for sexual attraction. So I'm not liking this one as much, and so far I feel like so much of this plot has been sexually based that there hasn't been what I loved with the last book for the overall fantasy plot and the political plot. I feel like it's totally lost that in this because there is so much sexual stuff in this one that I feel like it lost everything that it gained in the last book. So I am still reading it. I'm not enjoying it as much, and I honestly at this point I am wondering if it's the book itself or if it's just I'm getting into a burnout on this series from binge reading books 2, 3, and now 4. I'm not sure, but I am still reading it. It's not bad by any means. I'm still enjoying it. I like this world. I think it's really interesting what she's done with these characters. And like I said, I like the characters individually. I just don't know if I like them together. At least not right now. So that's kind of sucks for being almost 150 pages into it, but that's where we're at right now. I also forgot to tell you guys that after doing all my birthday shopping last weekend, my total count for my TBR is at 222 after finishing The Warrior King. So we did go up, but I've been doing a lot of reading this month, so we'll see. We'll see how this goes. Hello, so it is now Monday, and I finished The Cursed King yesterday, and I liked it. I did. I thought that it was, I think, the weakest one in this series personally, for the first chunk of it. So this is the 4th and final book in the series, and this one is following Angelica and Eric. And Eric was a prisoner for centuries to Pythias, who is the High King of this realm. And after being a prisoner, Eric is a dragon shifter, and he is afraid to unleash his dragon because he thinks his dragon will be feral and uncontrollable. And Angelica is, of course, the other sister out of this group, and she doesn't believe that she is the true Phoenix by any means because she's not showing any signs of powers, and this is following their story. And while I did enjoy this, I think it took too long to get into it, and I wasn't huge on the romance in this one. There was just something about it that I was like rolling my eyes, and I was cringing quite a bit with this one, I felt like. And then the ending of it got really, really good, and it like ended really well. So the series finished out great, but it just took too long to get there, and I just wasn't super into this relationship. So I ended up giving this one 4 stars. So we started out the series. When I read the first book originally, I gave it 5 stars. I absolutely loved it. Then a while later, with coming back to this series this week, I gave the Blood King, I gave this 4.5 stars. The Warrior King was definitely my favorite in the series. I gave this one like 4.5 to like 4.75 kind of thing if you want to get really technical. I like this one a lot. I think this was the strongest one in the series, to be completely honest. And then the Cursed King I gave 4 stars. So overall it was still a really great series, and I really enjoyed my time. But I did finish out this series this week, and honestly I'm feeling a little bit of a burnout after binging this this series. I don't usually do that. I don't usually finish out a whole series like back to back. So I did really enjoy these. I had a really great time, and I'm really excited to see what happens in The Things Gods Break, which is the next book to Games Gods Play. That should be coming out, I believe, the end of September. And so I'm really excited to see what happens in that book and what happens with moving on with that series from Abigail Owen. And I'm really glad that I read these. So that being said, for my alphabet escapades, I think I am going to just wind things down here. I didn't hit quite as many books as I wanted to for this video, but since I am feeling a little bit of a burnout, I'm just ready to move on to something else for the moment. So I am going to finish things out here. I did finish these, which should have eliminated the letter O from my list. However, I did pick up 1984 by George Orwell at the Little Free Library over on Thursday, I think it was. So I do still have one more author last name O that is on that list, but I'm not going to be reading it for this one. Not this time around. I'm not ready for that. I'm not mentally prepared. So we started out this video with, I believe it was 218 books on my TBR, but after my birthday, because I just had the phenomenal timing to start filming this video right before my birthday. So we are, I believe, at 226. So our number did go up this time, but I have every intention of bringing that back down this month, in the month of August, and really getting us back to where we need to be. So I'm hoping to film another one of these videos before the end of the month, but we'll see how things play out. But as of right now, I'm really glad that I read these, and I'm really excited to see what my next one brings, what kind of books I read, and how I end up choosing them. Because like I said, I've been doing that spinner wheel, and I'm having a lot of fun with it. So there's a lot of different things that I can kind of mix things up a little bit, choose things a little bit differently. And so if you enjoyed this video, please like, comment, and subscribe. If there's any way that you think would be fun for me to choose which books I will be reading, whether that's within the letter itself or whatever the case may be, if you have any ideas, please let me know down in the comments. And thank you so much for hanging out with me, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye.